Have you ever wondered why your life moves in a direction you never consciously chose? Why certain emotions overpower you? Why the same painful patterns repeat? Why you are drawn to the same types of people? Why you sabotage your own growth? Why your fears appear even when nothing is wrong? Why your decisions feel automatic instead of intentional? What if I told you that behind every reaction, every impulsive choice, every emotional storm, and every self-destructive habit, there exists a hidden mind, one you never meet, never speak to, and never fully understand. Yet it quietly controls everything in your life. This hidden force is what Carl Jung called the unconscious shadow, the dark mind formed from the parts of you society forced into silence, the anger you were punished for showing, the fear you were mocked for expressing, the pain no one validated, the sadness you had to hide to survive, the desires someone told you were wrong, the truths you buried because they didn't fit the version of you the world demanded. As a child, you learned quickly what was allowed and what would lead to rejection. So you locked away pieces of your real self into a mental basement and pretended they never existed. But here is the terrifying truth. Nothing you hide ever disappears. Your dark mind, the mind you never meet, keeps every memory alive, every wound warm, every fear awake, and every emotion stored with perfect detail. Imagine your consciousness as a small island floating in an endless dark ocean. The island is what you show the world, your confidence, your humor, your intelligence, your kindness. But beneath the water, silent and unseen, lies the vast ocean of your unconscious. And in that ocean lives a version of you that remembers everything you tried to forget. This unseen mind has no voice, but it speaks through impulses. It has no form, but it shapes your reactions. It has no logic, but it controls your decisions with terrifying precision. Think about the last time something small triggered you, someone's tone, a glance, a comment, a memory that popped up unexpectedly. You told yourself, "I don't know why that bothered me," but your dark mind knew exactly why. It wasn't reacting to the present moment. It was reacting to the past you never healed. Think of the last relationship you attracted, the last person you felt drawn to, even if they hurt you. You told yourself it was chemistry, fate, intuition, but your dark mind was pulling you toward what felt familiar, not what was healthy. Because in the unconscious mind, familiar equals safe, even if familiar equals pain. Think of the dreams you abandoned, the opportunities you sabotaged, the risks you couldn't take even though you desperately wanted to. You called yourself lazy, unmotivated, scared, but the truth is, your dark mind was trying to protect you from reliving a mistake you made long ago. Even if that memory is buried so deep, you no longer consciously remember it. This is the frightening paradox of the human psyche. The mind you never meet is the mind that governs most of your life. You believe you are in full control, but research shows that nearly 95% of human behavior comes from the unconscious mind, not the conscious one. That means only 5% of your decisions are truly yours. The rest belong to the dark mind you pretend doesn't exist. And this mind is not evil, it's wounded. It's the younger version of you who learned to hide in order to survive. It's the child who felt powerless, the teenager who felt misunderstood, the heartbroken version of you who never healed, the terrified self who learned to stay silent. The dark mind makes decisions based on fear, not wisdom, because it froze at the age you were when the wound was created. So today, even as an adult, you react with the emotional reflexes of a younger self. That's why you shut down during conflict. That's why you cling to unhealthy people. That's why you overthink everything. That's why you fear abandonment even when no one is leaving. That's why you get angry at things you don't understand. That's why you numb yourself with distractions, addictions, or emotional walls. Your mind is not broken, it's trying to protect you using outdated survival strategies. And this protection becomes a cage. The dark mind hides in the corners of your personality, influencing how you trust, love, react, connect, and dream. It hides behind the anger you can't control, the anxiety that hits without warning, the jealousy you refuse to admit, the sadness you can't explain, the self-doubt that whispers at night. Look closely and you will see the shadow in every part of your life. In the way you withdraw when you want connection, in the way you chase validation from people who won't give it, in the way you push away good things because you secretly feel unworthy, in the way you stay in situations long after they've broken you, in the way you fear being seen because being seen once led to pain. The dark mind doesn't sabotage you because it hates you, it sabotages you because it doesn't trust the world. It believes every risk will recreate an old wound. Every person will become a threat. Every dream will end in disappointment. Every step forward will hurt. So it pulls you back, not to punish you, but to protect the younger version of you who still lives inside, waiting to be heard. But here is the truth. No one teaches you. The shadow loses power the moment you turn toward it. The moment you sit with your feelings instead of running from them. The moment you ask yourself, what is this emotion trying to protect, instead of judging yourself for feeling it. The moment you allow yourself to feel the pain you avoided for so long. Healing begins the moment awareness enters the dark room. When you finally meet the part of yourself you avoided, something extraordinary happens. Your reactions slow down. Your triggers soften. Your decisions become conscious. And for the first time, you take back control from the unseen mind. You begin to understand your anger instead of drowning in it. You trace your fears back to their origins. You see the patterns that shaped your relationships. You recognize the memories that shaped your beliefs. You learn which wounds are still making your decisions. And from that understanding comes freedom. The freedom to choose differently, to love differently, to live differently. Your dark mind becomes your inner guide instead of your inner enemy. Your wounds become your wisdom. Your fears become your intuition. Your shadow becomes your strength. Because the moment you face the mind you never meet, you reclaim the life that was never truly yours. You stop living on autopilot. You stop repeating patterns. You stop self-sabotage. You stop shrinking yourself. You stop fearing your own emotions. And you finally become the author of your story instead of the character trapped inside it. So ask yourself, what part of you is making decisions you're not aware of? What emotion keeps coming back? What childhood memory still shapes your fears? What truth still scares you? What wound still bleeds in silence? That is where your shadow lives, and that is where your freedom waits. Because the dark mind you never meet will control everything until the day you fear.